Hey everybody, today we're doing the Something Challenge, which is one we got tagged in by Boxed Meeples. And so the Something Challenge is you have to pick something that's...
Old.
New. Borrowed.
And blue.
I guess that phrase comes from weddings or something, but whatever. So a board game that's old, new, borrowed, blue, or at least your interpretation of that, right?
Yeah.
So starting with old, I'm going to pick... the classic Ben Casey MD game.
Yup.
Okay, and this game is a classic because it started on Favorite Game Friday where I made just a joke about it.
And then you kept doing it.
And then I did another joke about it, and then it would always be in the background, and then I'd make another joke about it, I pretended to pick it for something, and then it just kind of kept going, and then I don't know. There's no real reason. The thing is, we've never actually played this game.
I think it's because we never really...
There's
we haven't had instructions.
The board looks kind of cool for a game from the 50s or whatever.
It's weird.
There's some really bad little cards here. A dinky little strange die.
And then there's this weird guy.
I think that's Ben Casey.
Is it though?
Oh no, that's a different guy. I don't know. It's people probably from the show, because as you can see on this box here, it's Ben Casey MD as portrayed by Vincent Edwards on ABC television.
Oh look, if you put it here, it goes in the spot.
Yeah, right. Because here, let me lift that up. So the little standees punch out of the board or out of the insert or whatever. I mean, it's a cheap mass market game from the 50s based on a show that probably nobody remembers, but my mom was a fan of. So that's how I have this, because this was hers. I don't know if she ever played it. She just had it because she was a fan or whatever. So Ben Casey MD has been a running joke, and that's my pick for old.
Yep.
What do you got?
So my pick for old is this game we've actually played.
We have.
Which is The Awful Green Things from Outer Space.
Heck yeah.
It's fun. It actually is a lot of fun.
It's a two-player game, right? Because it's a two-player versus game.
Where it's the crewmates versus the awful green things from outer space. Yeah. Actually, when I read the story, they're technically not from outer space. They were from a planet.
Well, planets are in outer space.
True, but because this guy picked up a rock.
Yeah.
And he thought it was a rock, but it was an awful green thing.
Yeah, that one's so old. I bought that when I was in high school.
Yeah, and it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's silly because basically the aliens are trying to kill as many humans as they can and stop them from getting off the ship and to the escape ships.
And then the crewmates are just trying to get the heck out of
Yeah, and there's different weapons scattered around, but you don't know what they do until you try them.
Yeah.
So
they could explode one of them into little itty bitty parts.
Yeah, right. So
or they could multiply them.
Yeah, sometimes it multiplies them, sometimes it destroys them. You never know. So it's a silly game.
And then you can also find the robot, which is actually really, really hard.
The robot?
Yeah, because
what the robot does.
He's basically he has a lot of health and he has a lot of health.
He attacks the green things?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's your pick for old, which was honestly one of my old games that I used to play in high school.
And I played it now and it was fun.
Yeah. It still holds up as a silly fun game.
Yep.
All right, so what's next? New. Okay. So I'm going to pick Unmatched for new. And I know Unmatched isn't necessarily new to a lot of people, but it's new to me.
And
me. Yeah, that's right. And the only reason we got it is because of these Marvel characters. And, my wife wanted to paint them, and she has painted them. Maybe I'll put a picture right here of a painted one. Anyway, so yeah, this game ended up being a lot of fun. I never really was that interested before until the Marvel characters came out, but...
it was pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun little skirmish game. It goes really quick, and it's it can't drag on too long. Because once you run out of your deck or whatever, you'll start losing health. So you have to. It forces you to kind of confront the other person, not just run away the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm picking Unmatched for new because it's new to me, and the Marvel ones are relatively new. So sure.
Yep.
What do you got?
So I have. Overboss.
Yeah, another one that's new to you, right? Because it's a year or two old.
Mhm. So I know. Yeah, we got it. And it was a lot of fun. It's just a game where you place down tiles to get points.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the tiles have different points. like different ways to score
Right,
points.
they're like terrain tiles, yeah.
And then you get the monsters, which will also score you points.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. It's really quick.
It can be, once you've played it a few times.
And then there's a lot of variability because of, variety. Because there is different land types. There's a bunch of different land types, and not all of them come out in the same game.
Right, yeah, you only use so many of them. And it's in the Boss Monster universe.
Yep.
Are you a fan of the Boss Monster universe?
Yeah, I
Right, I mean, we have Boss Monster, right? And with all the little weird stuff in that game.
Yeah.
So, sure.
Yeah.
There's your new to you game, at least.
Yes.
All right, so then what's next? Old, new, borrowed.
Borrowed.
All right, so borrowed is a tricky one to figure out a board game that you borrow, because I can't say we borrow things that much. But we have a friend, Corey, who comes over pretty much weekly to play games with us.
Yep.
And when he buys games, he just leaves them here because he doesn't play with anybody else. So he'll buy them and they just get added into our shelves. So I guess technically we're borrowing games from him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because he just leaves them here. We can play them if we wanted to. And then what I'm going to pick is Archer Love Letter because this is a game that we usually play when we're tired and it's the end of the night and it's silly. And, it's just like the last thing we do every night. So the thing with the Archer Love Letter that makes it different from the other love letters is that there's always a card that you don't play with in the game, so you don't have perfect information. But with the Archer characters, you can interact with that. So you can either look at it, or you can guess it to try to win, or you can like swap your card with it or whatever. So that's an interesting mechanic that adds to the love letter type thing, where like the card that's out you can actually do stuff with. Now, hey, look, we had to sleeve it because the cat bit a hole in one of the cards. So, yeah, it now has sleeves on it because it's really out of print. This version will never come back, but it's a really fun version. So that's my pick for borrowed.
Cool.
What do you got?
My pick for borrowed is Machikoro, which if you think about it, like it might not seem like that would be borrowed because we own it. Yeah,
We've owned this for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of your favorites.
But you wouldn't think of it if you think about it. There's this specific card,
Yep.
which is the loaning office.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
So basically, it's free. It's free, and
Free to take.
and you get it, and you get 5 coins from it.
Is it only 5?
Yeah, you get 5 coins.
Okay.
But then you have the building, and whenever you roll a 5 or a 6, you have
to start paying your loan
you
back.
Have to pay back.
Yeah, so you're borrowing
it's
money.
2 coins.
You're borrowing money from the loan office.
And then you can use this little thing called the moving company and make someone else borrow your loan.
Right. So the combination is funny, right? If you want to mess with other people, which some people don't like, and whatever. So so you take the loan, and then before you pay it back, you just move it over to somebody else.
You infinitely play this. This never goes away, even if you pay more than 5 coins.
Yeah, right. You're gonna have to keep paying the loan back every time you roll a 5 or a 6.
So you could pay a bunch of coins.
Yeah. All right.
But then you can use the moving company to just give it to someone else.
And that's always funny when you can actually pull that off. And then they roll a 5 or a 6, and they have to start paying back your loan.
Yup.
So for borrowed, that was your pick. All right, and then what was the last one? Blue. All right, so I mean, we have a ton of games that have blue in them, and I think blue is like most associated with water, I guess, right? Yes. So I'm gonna pick Paradiso, which is one of our like personal favorite games that literally no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
I think there's a new edition of this out recently. Like
it's called something else though.
Was it called something else?
Yeah.
Or sure it wasn't called Paradiso? Because I thought it had like the same tiles, but they were like cardboard or something. I don't know. Anyway, Paradiso is a 2-player like super quick abstract game.
Yep.
That is in this little bag here, right? And there's like big chunky tiles in this bag, and all you're doing is creating a
little island.
Creating a little island, like a 5x5 grid. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
And all you have to do is not be the one who can't place a tile.
So you get each of the people get half the tokens.
Tiles, yeah.
Yeah, tiles.
Yeah.
And then you keep placing them, and basically water has to touch water and land has to touch land.
Yeah, as you can see, like there's water and land, so
and then
there's
there's half tiles which like half and half do have to mix up.
Like that right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and it has to be constrained to like a 5. I believe it's a 5x5 grid.
So
I don't
it's
know. I can't
either
remember
5x4, 5x5, or 4x4, or something like that.
Whatever it is, you can't like once you've created that, you have to be within that, and it goes really quick, and it's like
Yep.
the best 2 out of 3 rounds wins, and it's a good like little game to like play at a restaurant or like while you're having a conversation.
It's really small and really mobile.
Portable. Yeah, I totally just thrown it in thrown the bag in my pocket and played at a park before too.
Yep.
Just so. That's my blue game because it's got the blue sea and all over around it. So sure. What do you got?
And my blue game is Survive, which has the blue ocean of death.
Yeah, especially because there's sharks,
sea
monsters,
and then whales that'll wreck your boat.
Yeah, and the octopuses too.
Yeah, with the expansion. But so yeah, there's so many dangerous things there.
Yeah, so the island is sinking into the blue, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you got to get off of it.
Yep. And there's gonna be a lot of things trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Because the boats are better because you can only move one space when you're just in the water, but when you're on a boat, you can move up to 3, and you have all of the meeples, and you gotta get them to like the safer islands around it. In
the best part about it is when you got a little guy on the island and they jump on that boat with you, so they're forced to take you to the island with them.
Yup.
So you don't get swallowed up by the blue ocean.
Yep. And the sea monsters.
And the sea monster's not blue, but
it's like purple.
He'll drag you down into the blue.
Yep.
Or maybe he'll just eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's it.
Yep.
If you want to do this challenge, I'm sure you could either post in the comments below or make your own video. It's just a silly little challenge, and it gives us an excuse to talk about board games. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for tagging us, Box to Meeples, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.